The following program may contain strong language and mature content. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and peace and blessings to you. It's a great day. It's a blessed day. And if you don't know anything else on this day, know that you deserve to be blessed. Hey, 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 hey. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hey, peace and blessings to you. Where you at? Where you from? What you doing? Hey, you know what, y'all? It is the Titan Capri Experience. Y'all come on in and come talk to me. Y'all come on in and come have a seat. Y'all come on in and let me know where you're at and what you're doing. What you doing? Yes, indeed. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday as always. It's 7 o'clock on the dot, on the swatch watch. You know what I mean? So, yes. It's a Monday. I hope your weekend was great. Hope your weekend was good. It was a nice laid back weekend. A couple of things I did over the weekend, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, it was a good weekend. It was a good weekend. So yeah, let me see. I did a couple of things this weekend. Um, let's see. Oh, so before I get into that, tonight we're going to be talking about voting, using your voice. We're going to be talking about a couple of things. And I wanted to talk about this tonight because we are looking at a lot of people running for office. We are looking at voting happening. We're looking at the runoff, the elections. All of this stuff is happening. And so my question to you on tonight, and we're going to discuss it, is what do you do in the midst of all of this? You know, do you have a voice? You know, do you have power? Do you vote? Like, what do you do? You know what I mean? So with that being said, we'll get into that. But my weekend was good. Um, I did go to the Mark Awards yesterday, which is the Normal Anomalies Awards for the community. And so it was nice. It was a great gathering. A lot of the community leaders, a lot of the community mothers, a lot of the community houses and families were recognized on yesterday. And so it was good. It was a nice time. On last Thursday, I went to the Code Red, which was the third annual Code Red for the Truth Project. And the Truth Project is another formidable force in the community, along with the Normal Anomaly. They both are doing great things. But I went there and they had their third annual Code Red Gala. It was nice. We all dressed in red, you know, fire, you know, all of that good stuff. But they also gave out awards as well for community leaders, for community advocates, for people that are doing things in the community. So I want to give a big shout out to the Normal Anomaly and to the Truth Project for bringing it in and giving the community their flowers while they're still here. And I think it was an awesome thing. Last night at the Mark Awards, Portia Paris was given the Lifetime Achievement Award, I believe. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. I have to check my notes. But she was given the Lifetime Achievement Award. And she talked about how she's been doing this since she was 15 or 16 years old. And so you think to yourself, like, oh my God, like that's a long time. But she's 49 this year, right? And so she's been, and she cried and she gave us a story and she talked about what was going on. But it's one thing for you to be a part of the community, but it's a whole nother thing for you to be a force in the community and pave the way for so many others, right? Because you knew that something, happened, you got put in a predicament or a situation or whatever it may be. And then now you're here and now you're saying, I'm doing it for somebody else. And Portia has been doing that. And so it was a really nice turnout. And she gave a speech and she cried and cried and cried. But it's good when the community can give the community their flowers while they're still here. Let them know that you see them. Let them know that you hear them. Let them know you understand them. And then that's a good way for you to do that. So, yeah. So my weekend was good. I'm hoping the same for you. Y'all let me know what y'all got going on. Let me know what's in your glass tonight. Look how this. I got this big old straw in this, right? And so I did a little mixture, but yeah. But I made sure it wasn't glass, plastic, okay? Plastic, because I had a little mishap the other day. But so we're gonna go ahead on and move on, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that your day was a great one. It was nice and cool today. I rode with the windows down. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I don't normally roll with the windows down because I don't like to be feeling some kind of way. You know what I mean? But anyways, I rode with the windows down today and it felt great. It felt good. And I was so thankful for it. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know how we do. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know, what you know. So we're going to start off with Did You Know? Did you know? Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to start off with Did You Know, baby? Yeah. Now, see, here's the thing. A lot of people will ask the question, right? Can I vote early? Now, most people think that you can't vote early. Most people think that you don't have what you need in order to vote, but we're going to talk about that tonight. Can I vote early? Yes, you can. You can vote early. You can vote early. So right now, voting early is going on. So I don't know where you are, which state you're in right now, but do go and just put in vote or voting, right? Google it and then Google what your state's days are or weeks are or whatever have you. It should be the same all the way around, I believe. However, just go ahead and Google it just to be on the safe side. And then also figure out what you need. So because I'm in Texas, I'm going to speak about Texas tonight, but I want you, for those that are watching, wherever you're watching at, to go ahead and look at what your state's requirements are for voting, because there are some requirements, right? So can you vote early? Yes, you can. So here's the thing. Most of your jobs, well, all of them should have a voting day or time in place. So it'll let you know. They normally will give you 2 to 4 hours, I believe, to go to a voting location and do that. This year it's a little different because they're trying to not let you vote here or there or whatever have you. So please, please, please look it up ahead of time and figure out where you can go to actually vote. Now, you can vote early, and then so Texas offers voting early, right? We know that, but you can choose whether to vote on election day or during the early voting period. Now, whichever's easier for you, but I'll say this: go tap on your manager's door, tap on your director's door, whatever have you, or send it via email, or however you have to do it, and let them know that you want to go vote early. I guarantee you there's a voting location near you somewhere. So you can go and vote early. You can leave work early if they allow you to do that. Or you can go during the day, go for 2 to 4 hours and come back to work, or however it is that you need to do it. But make sure that you vote. And here's the reason why I'm saying that, right? Early voting is not going to be as hectic as it is for the regular voting. And the reason being is because people are getting out. There's more room, there's more time, there's more all of this stuff. When you get to the regular voting period, you're down to the wire. And so you're trying to vote, you're trying to make it happen, you're trying to do all of these things, right? Did you know that you could vote early? Did you know? I guarantee you somebody, whoever this is right here, did not know that they could vote early. Now, let me tell you how easy it is to vote early. Go to the site, as I stated, go to the site, and all you have to do is check out the early voting locations and go vote. Simple as that. Simple as that. A lot of us think you got to jump through hoops, you got to thread needles, you got to, build castles. I don't know what you're thinking, but you don't have to do all of that. Just go and vote. Go and vote. Ladies and gentlemen, it's important that we do that. It's important that our voice is heard. It's important to do that. So did you know you can vote early? And I guarantee you, if you didn't know, now you know. So now you can go ahead on and go and vote. Go vote, go vote, go vote. Do it now while you don't have all the hustle and bustle, and you can take your time and you can do this. You ain't got the long lines. Early voting is good. Early voting is good, okay? Early voting is good, all right? So let's go ahead and let's talk about before I move on to the next piece. I thought about something that somebody said, right? You may not have been following, what's going on. You may not see the candidates. You may not know anything like that. But what I want you to do is take a moment and just learn who the candidates are, what they provide, what they give, and things like that. And then you go and vote. Now, I'm not saying just go vote for anybody just because you just want to vote for anybody, but I do want you to take a look, if you can, do a little research and do those things. I know you've been seeing the commercials. I know you've been seeing all of that, but did you know you can vote early? But don't just vote just because you're saying you're going to vote. Vote to make a difference. Vote to make some. So learn who your candidates are and have a vote, okay? And have a vote. All right, y'all, we're going to get on into this topic here. This topic, baby. Yes, get on into this thought. Yes. What's today? It's the thought. It's the thought. Now, look. Use your voice and show your power. So this is what somebody said to Titan. And Titan said, what do you mean by use your voice and show your power? What I mean by that is use your voice and show your power. Know who you are voting for. Uplift your voice. Look at who is representing what. What makes sense to you? What doesn't make sense to you? What makes the difference for you, right? You need to know those things so you can use your voice. Okay? You know what I'm saying? All right. Look, lift it. Oh, show your power, right? I can't change anything if I'm back here just being, yeah, I'm gonna just be quiet. I'm gonna just be quiet. Ain't no reason. Why would I say anything? It's not gonna make a difference. Why am I voting? My vote doesn't matter. My vote doesn't count. What should I do? Nothing. I'm just going to sit back and let the chips fall where they may, and that's what I'm going to do. That's not how we do that, ladies and gentlemen. That is not how we do that. Our people, our ancestors, our elders, those that came before us, blood, sweat, and tears, just so you can vote, just so you can have a say-so, just so you can have a voice. And we're going to just sit here and not vote? And we are capable of voting. Do you know? So I want to say this about power and how we need to use our power. They are using their power to stop us from voting. Why do you think they want to stop us from voting? Why? But that's the part. You got to use your voice and show your power, because evidently using your voice, voting, is power. Because why would they want to stop it? Why would they want to take it out? Why would they want to make it hard for you to vote? Why? Have you ever just asked yourself that question? Why is it so hard? I should be able just to go in there and click a box and do whatever I'm going to do and cast my vote and be done. But they have tried to catch you on this side. They tried to catch you on that side. They tried to catch you here and there. So evidently that's power. There's power. I was talking to somebody today and they said, it don't make no difference if I vote or not. They gonna do what they want to do. The man is gonna do what they want to do. And I said, I understand where you're coming from and I get it, right? And I get it. But what I want you to understand is that you have power in your voice. You have power in your words. You have power in the fact that you can make a decision to cast your vote and be powerful. You can make your voice heard by casting your vote. Now look, I know y'all are probably saying, Titan, come on, like really, you just beating this dead horse. Like, why you keep talking about this? But ladies and gentlemen, I didn't understand. I didn't understand. So I'm gonna say something because when my grandmother was here, me and my grandmother both went to vote. And we voted quite a few times together. The crazy part was my grandmother was happy that she could vote. You catch the magnitude of that? She was happy that she could vote. And there you have it. And there you have it. I didn't understand that. My grandmother was ecstatic when there was a Black president. Ecstatic. Thought she'd never see it. But here's the dynamic of that. My grandmother, her daughter, her grandson, her great-grandson, and her great-granddaughter all were old enough to understand the magnitude of what was happening. And for somebody born in the 30s, because she was born in the 30s, she thought she would never see that. She thought she would never see a person of color be mayor or governor. Like she didn't see none of this happening because she was born in a time where this was against the law. We weren't even considered pure human beings. You feel what I'm saying? So if voting was something that was just something, then it wouldn't mean anything. People have died. People have lost life and limb to vote. I asked my grandmother, what did it mean for her to be sitting in a living room with all of us, and here come President Obama? She was like, I never thought that I would ever see that. She said, if you'd have told me this when I was young, I would have said, nah, that's not what's about to happen. Now, y'all know that she didn't say that like that, but that's what I'm saying. But use your voice and show your power. We can make a change. We can make it happen. But there are tactics, there are people out there, there are things that are in motion for us not to be able to do what we need to do. And we have to be able to make sure that we do those things. We got to make sure that we understand that this is needed and it must be done. And so today we were having this conversation and this person said to me, well, Titan, again, how do you know my voice is going to matter? How do you know that my vote is going to make a difference? And I said, how do you not know this? Have you seen the future that it didn't make a difference? So you're sitting up here talking about shoulda, woulda, coulda, or I'm not going to do this because of blah, 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 blah. But here's my thing. What is stopping you from just going to vote? Forget about whether or not it's going to make a difference. What's stopping you? And it's always the same thing. It's always that we meaning people of color, right, will never get the good part. We'll always get the bad. And I don't think that that's the case in point. And sure enough, you know, the system is set up. But this is what I'm stating. You will never know what you can impact or what you can do if you don't try. You will never know what the difference is if you've never tried to make a difference. You will never know what your voice, what type of power your voice has if you've never used it in that manner. Like, you'll never know. This might not be the same as voting, but I talked to someone and they said to me, Titan, I want to thank you for lending your voice to my cause. And I was like, oh, that ain't nothing. That's just what we do, da 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 da, yada yada yada. And they were like, no, like seriously, like you literally came in and you made sure that I was good, even when I didn't want to. You made sure I was good. And I said, well, I appreciate that. Thank you for that. Because that's all that I want to do. I want to make a difference. Right? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't have somebody on my side like that was going through. Have somebody to walk me through to get me to understand what's going on and what's happening. I didn't have any of that. None of it. And so then later on down the road, I got it. But in the beginning, I was lost. I was by myself. I didn't understand why. I didn't understand who. I didn't understand what was my next thing, like what was going to happen. I didn't get it. And so I made a pact with myself at that time that I am going to do whatever it is that I can do, right, to make things happen. I'm going to do whatever it is that I can do to make sure that nobody else has to go through what I've been through, and whatever that means and what type of variation that is, right? I think that sometimes we don't see us changing things or making things better or having a voice because we have been beaten, we have been used and abused, we have been taught that we are no good at doing anything. And the reality of it is that you are great, you are wonderful, you can do these things. So I said to this person, I said, well, thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. But the reality of it is that we have so many people like that, like myself, who used to sit in the background back here and just wait, wait for that moment that we could possibly do this or we could possibly do that or whatever have you. And the moment never came. The moment never happened because it wasn't for us to be in the background like that. The moment was for us to raise our voice and show our power. That was the moment. That was the moment. But we think we don't need that moment because the reality of it is that it's not good for us. So we think. So with voting, I'm going to say this. I had to come from the back and stop. And stop. I had to come from the back and stop. And what I had to stop doing was letting stuff just go, letting stuff just happen, letting stuff just be. Like I had to stop. And when I stopped, the crazy part was like, wait, so you had a voice all this time? Right? You know what I'm saying? You doing all of this, you doing all of that, like this is your voice for real, for real? And it's like, yes, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, like this is my voice. And now I can't keep quiet. Now my mouth is just popping and everywhere. Well, no, that's not what that is. But here's the thing. Think about this. If your elders and your ancestors and people that came before you never stood up for something, then you'd have still been falling for everything. You wouldn't have half the stuff that you have now if somebody didn't raise their voice and say, hey, oh no, that's not fair. That's not right. That's not good. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that we think that it's okay because it was okay for them. So it got to be okay for us. No, 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 no. Use your voice and show your power. Use your voice and show your power. And your voice doesn't have to be at the rooftop and yelling. Your voice can be right in your family, showing them, giving them education, and letting them understand why voting is important, knowing who the candidates are and what they represent. Understand what you bring to the table. That could be you using your voice and showing your power. That part. That part right there. Ladies and gentlemen, use your voice, show your power. I used to work for a bank, and at the bank, financial wealth is really not talked about or taught to those people of color. We don't come from that mentality, right? Now, not everybody, not everybody. I'm not going to say everybody. Some of us don't come from that. So we think, and you know what? I'm not going to say we. I'm going to speak on Titan. Titan thought having a bank account, but I got it. I got a bank account, and even though my bank account may be overdrawn every paycheck and this and that, and da da da, but I got a bank account. I didn't made it. I didn't done it. And the reality of it is that no. So I lifted my voice and told my trainees, like, this is what you should do. If your company is matching your investment, or your company is matching 100%, in your Fidelity or whatever it is, your 401k, then what are you doing? If you stay here only 2 years and you have been putting into this 401k, and your company is matching you at 100%. Now, this was a little while back, y'all. So y'all probably saying, Titan, where is this at? It might not be, but anyway, but you had that. And so you didn't know. So when these young trainees would come in, never having a bank account, never having to save any money, don't know what an IRA is, don't know what a CD is, they don't know, they're learning all this for the first time. It was up to me to step in and say, hey, here's a way for you to make some extra money that you can have over here. Because it's one thing to have a job and to make money, but it's one thing to know that you're secure in your finances, that you don't have to worry about this and that and who and what and blah, blah, blah. You ain't got to worry about none of that, right? Because you're set up, you're good to go. So I said, okay, y'all, let's go here. And although it was not part of my curriculum when I was training, I still made sure that we talked about the 401k, because we talk about it to the clients. We talk about it to everybody else. Well, why not talk about it to yourself? Why not talk about it for you? Why not understand that there's something there for you? The company matched at 100%. So even if you just put in 3%, that's 100% that they were matching. The other 2%, they were matching at 50%. Still, it's not 100, but it's still 50. So put that in. Leave it alone. You do that on a daily basis. You go to the fast food restaurants, you buy this, you buy that. You may go on the weekend and splurge on a nice dinner or whatever it may be, $50, $100, whatever it may be. You could use that to secure your savings, to secure you. And there you have it. So people would say, well, Titan, that's not part of the curriculum. Why you teach it? Because you need to know. If you are somebody, and your account is overdrawn every payday, you are just robbing Peter to pay Paul twice, then you need some financial stability. You need some understanding. You need to know about your finances. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it. No. Use your voice. Know your power. Power. Voice, power. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. Ladies and gentlemen, when we get to talking about voting, we're talking about taking back power. We're talking about using the power that we have in order to make a difference. And sometimes it takes us barking, it takes us yelling, it takes us doing all of these things to make a difference, right? Use your voice and show your power. All right, ladies and gentlemen, while y'all using that voice and y'all showing that power, y'all know what y'all got to do. Y'all know that we got to go pay some bills. So we're going to be right back. Kwame, roll that beautiful bean footage. I'm going to see you Look, y'all, let me tell y'all something. Y'all better know. Y'all better go follow them. Y'all better go check them out. Y'all saw all that stuff that they got go. Look, we got something for you over here. We got something for you over here. We got Bullet in Flight. We got this. We got that. We got all that stuff going on. Y'all come on back on over here. Y'all come on back and do what you need to do. Do what you need to do. Look, so tonight we're talking about voting. We're talking about raising your voice and using your power. We're talking about all these things because people seem to think that voting, it doesn't matter, right? But it does. It really does. And so with that being said, we want to always make sure that we, be present and in the moment when it comes to that. So a couple of things I want to go over before we end um, this thought here is that somebody said to me that they don't have the proper identification for that. Ladies and gentlemen, identification is identification, right? All you need is a driver's license or an identification card, or you can have any type of license. Even like, well, here in Texas, you can have a handgun license. That could be your identification, right? U.S. military ID with the photo. That could be your ID. I use mine sometime as well. Your U.S. citizenship certificate. Great, right? Your passport, okay? Your Texas election ID certificate. Like, there are ways for you to make your vote count. And I know that we think, well, they're going to make it hard on us and we're not going to have. But if you have a driver's license or an ID, if you have a military ID, you have a passport, you have your election certificate, you have any of those things, you are able to vote. Now, here's something that I found interesting while I was doing some research. And the research basically says that all forms must be current or expired less than 4 years. Did you hear what I just said? Current or expired less than 4 years. So you can still use the ID even if it's expired up to 4 years, right? It can't be more than 4 years. It can't be 4 years and less than 4 years. You can still use your ID. And most people don't even think that, oh, somebody said, well, oh, my license expired. Well, how long has it been expired? That's not an excuse, right? You can make your vote happen. As long as it's not over 4 years, you're good to go. It's under 4 years, you are good to go. So I wanted to mention that because I had kind of like that slipped my mind earlier, but I wanted to mention that because there is a way for you to make the vote happen. There's a way for you to make the vote. There's a way for you to vote. There is a way for you to vote. Y'all with me? So what we got to do, ladies and gentlemen, stop making those excuses because you just heard me say that you can do it. Now you can go over to vote on your Texas site, California, Atlanta, wherever it may be. You go and you check it out. Florida, if you're in Florida, wherever you at, it doesn't matter. You can go and look and they will tell you what you need. They will tell you what's acceptable and they will tell you how to go and make your vote happen. Listen to that. Now it says for voters age 70 or older, the acceptable form of photo identification may be expired for any length of time if the identification is otherwise valid. Y'all with me? I'm going to say that one more time. For voters age 70 or older, the acceptable form of a photo identification may be expired for any length of time if the identification is otherwise valid. Y'all with me? So remember we talked about the identification. We talked about the acceptable forms. If you are 70 or older, they're not tripping with you like that, right? Because most people 70 or older are not still driving. They're not still doing certain things. Some people are, but not most of them. So you get an ID card and that's what you'll have, right? Now for voters aged 18 to 69, the acceptable form of photo identification may be expired no more than the 4 years. We just talked about that, right? Before being presented for voter qualification at a polling place. So if your ID is expired, if your driver's license is expired and it's less than 4 years, y'all with me? You can still go vote. You can still go vote. Now, of course, we want you to make sure that you got everything that you need, but that doesn't mean that you can't go vote. You can still go vote, okay? And then lastly, if you don't have an ID or cannot obtain one due to a reasonable impediment, right? You'll need to sign a sworn statement that there is a reason why you don't have any of the acceptable IDs and present one of the following. Y'all with me? Certified birth certificate. Notice it says certified, right? Y'all can't go over there with your phones and showing your birth certificate on your phone. You just have a certified birth certificate, okay? A valid voter registration certificate. And so if you're already registered to vote, you should be getting those in the mail. You should be able to pull them up, so forth and so on. Now you can go onto the Texas site. I'm talking for those people, but I'm sure it's the same in your state as well. And you can check. You can use your driver's license and date of birth, right? And put that in, and they'll let you know whether or not you're registered to vote. They'll let you know if you're good to go and all that good stuff, okay? And then lastly, are a current utility bill, government check, bank statement, or paycheck, or government document with your name and address. Did you just hear that? If you don't have a voter ID, You can go all those routes. Now I know y'all probably saying, Titan, I don't want them in my business. I don't want them knowing what I'm doing. I don't want them to see my bank statement, but there's no reason why you can't vote. I just gave you a whole list of those, especially for those of us that are in Texas. That's what I'm reading off here, but that doesn't mean that it can't be the same thing in your state. But most people don't know that. So what happens is that we think we are out just because our ID is expired. If it's less than 4 years, baby, you can vote. You can vote. Yes, indeed, you can. Yes, indeed, you can. Yes, indeed, you can. And so I think I want to say this to you tonight. I'm not trying to make you do something that you don't want to do, right? But there are ways for us to vote. There are ways for us to change. Only if we knew that these things were available. Now, many, many years ago, I didn't know all of this was available. I thought because, you got an expired ID, I thought you were out the picture. I thought because you didn't have an ID, but you had a passport, that you were out the picture. I thought because your ID, you had lost it and you had a paper one and all of it. There are ways for you to vote. Use your voice and show your power and vote. And all of this can be done with early voting. All of this can be done with early voting. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm moving along. I'm moving along because I just during the conversation I was saying there has to be a way. There's no way that you cannot do this, and this. There has to be a way. Because my grandmother voted. Yeah, she was in her 70s. And I want to say that her ID may have expired, but it may have only been like a month or two. Well, no, probably maybe 6 months or so. But she still was able to vote. She still was able to go forward. So I want to just say, I just want you to know that that's what that is right there, right? I want you to make sure. I want you to know all of that. And then we're going to move on to you better. You better. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. You better. Y'all heard me say it? You better. You better. Get out and vote. I don't want to hear none of this. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear no pop, 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 pop. Get out and vote. Ladies and gentlemen, people have died for you to have this right. People have made sure that you were able to do that. People have stood on the sword, fell down on the sword, made sure that they got cut up for the sword so you can walk in and vote. Remember, it was against the law at one point for us to vote. We could not come in and vote. They made it hard for us to vote. So what I want to say to you today is get out and vote. You better today get out and vote. See what your early vote is. See where the locations are. Look them up. Do all of those things. All you got to do is at your fingertips. If you can look at YouTube and TikTok and Insta and Facebook and do all of those, if you can post, if you can upload to your feed and do all of these things, you can vote. You can vote. And I know I feel like you can vote. I feel like Florida, damn, vote. Get out and vote. Look, ladies and gentlemen, get out and vote. I'm trying to tell you, you got to get out and vote. Talk to your family. And look, and this is what I want to say. I want you to think about it like this. Your family don't know, right? Or your friends don't know. Let's say, for instance, they don't know what you know. So you're just sitting there being quiet because you're like, oh, well, they don't know what I know. So No, let them know. Have a voters night. You know what I mean? Have a little gathering. Yes, I'm from the South. Have a little gathering so y'all can vote. Tell them about the candidates. Let them know who the candidates are in your circle. In your text thread. In your messenger group, in your group messenger. Tell people. Let them know they need to vote. We cannot effect change. We cannot move the needle if we do not vote. So let's do this. Think about it. You better. No. Think about it. Think about 5 people in your neighborhood, in your friend circle, in your village, in your gang, in your tribe, don't know nothing about voting. What are you going to do? Let them know about voting. Tell them what's up. Get them to go to the polls. Show them who these candidates are. Tell them what bills are being passed and how things affect them. Get them to go. And time is out, ladies and gentlemen. Time is out for us not to speak the truth to our friends and our families and our loved ones. Time is out for that. I'm telling you that you got to go vote. So I'm going to go vote and I'm going to show you. But while I go vote, I'm going to grab 3 or 4, 5 people and take them with me. Yes, my car can hold 5 people, including myself. So yes, I'm going to take them with me. Get out and vote. You better. You better. You better vote. Come on, vote. Let your body move to the groove, and you know you can do it. Vote. Look. Y'all know I don't have no sense. Y'all know this. Why do y'all always allow me to do these things? I don't know why. Anyways, let's go ahead on and get into this final thought, because baby, we moving. We moving. Woo. I'm going to just repeat what I said before in this final thought. Our elders, our ancestors, people bled, people died, people were hurt, people were got the water hose put on them, dogs sicked on them, all of this stuff so that we could have a right to voice our opinion and show our power. And the reality of it is that we don't do it enough. We figure, oh, well, that's yesteryear. That's them. Ain't nobody gonna put no water hose on me, sick no dogs on me. Ain't nobody gonna beat me because I'm going to go vote. But they may not be beating you physically, but mentally, emotionally, and then wait, it may be physically, because physically they stopping you from going to go vote. You feel what I'm saying? So I just want to say that to you. In this final thought, they paved the way. Those elders, those old people that you talk about, they paved the way. Sometimes they had to walk long walks in order to get to the voting place. Sometimes when they got there, they wasn't allowed in. Sometimes when they got there, they were beat, right? So you got to think about it. Not too long ago, we couldn't even sit at the same counter with people that were not of color. We weren't even considered human beings at one point, a third. We were considered the lesser race, so it was against the law for us to read and write and vote. We couldn't use the same water faucets, although the same water was coming through. You feel what I'm saying? So when I say this tonight, when I say get out and vote and do what you got to do, quit playing the game. And you want to say, oh, well, that was then, but look, baby, that's less than 100 years. Your grandparents are in their 70s and 80s and 90s. You feel me? The things that my grandmother had to endure, or my grandfather had to endure, or my great aunts and uncles had to endure, I don't have to endure. Why? Because they endured those things for me. But I can't drop the ball. I can't play the game. Because the reality of it is, somebody said the other day, well, Titan, you always hollering about, you black, gay, and HIV positive. I don't know who you fighting for. I am still black. I am still black. When I wake up every day, my skin tells me that. The looks that I get when I'm walking down, because I'm 6'1" and 285, when I'm walking through, even though I step lightly, people grasping their purse and looking at me strange. When I go in the stores, people are coming, can I help you? May I help you? And I'm thinking, no, I'm just browsing. I'm just looking. You understand what I'm saying? I'm black. I'm gay. And I'm HIV positive. I intersect in a whole lot of ways. Not to mention, I'm a child of God, right? I'm a father. I'm a brother. I'm a cousin. I'm an uncle. I'm a friend. I'm a loved one. I'm a family. I'm family. I'm village. I'm tribe. I'm gang. See, I'm all of these things. And if I'm all of these things, I'm innocent like that, then I need to be voted. I need to let my voice be heard and show my power. I need to know where early voting is so I can get out and go ahead and vote, and then take some with me so that the process is not too strenuous for them. So they want to go back again and again. If you can amass followers, if you can check and see if you got thousands of likes, millions of likes, and all that kind of stuff, can't do the other part. Hey, friend, have you voted? Are you going to vote? I love that my village and my gang and my tribe come around. We talk about these things. Hey, you're going to get the vaccine? Hey, you're going to get this? Hey, you're going to vote? Hey, did you see such and such? This and that? Did you see that the proposition that they're making is going to harm us? It's going to hurt us? Did you see what's going on here? Did you see, this critical race theory? Did you see, like, all of these things? We cannot be clueless to these things because of the fact that they are real and they affect us, even though we don't feel it right here. It still affects us. It's going to affect our children, our grandchildren. It's always going to be that. Because now your children saying that our elders were old. Now our elders have gone on, are old, and I'm saying that we are old. They're young. And what affected us years ago, they affected like that now. Because they're young. The world changed. Back in the day, there wasn't a microwave when I was growing up. The microwave came. Then microwave was huge. Took a whole count of something. And smaller and quicker. Now you got air fryers. Now you got all this stuff. Things will change. Not just but things will change. The times change. But voting is still the same. We still have to vote. And I know you're saying, well, how do we do that? What has been one of those nights, has been one of those days. Vote. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. I'll go ahead and get up. Before I leave tonight, I want to say this. Think about you wanting to do something and somebody tell you that you cannot. Think about you want something to happen. Think about you want to go out and buy those nice kicks or that nice purse or that nice Mercedes that you cannot do it. Why? Because I don't want to sell to you. Why I want to do that? But now it's time to vote on whether or not it's fair and just. And so you have the opportunity to show your public, oh, it's not fair. I should be able to buy that cheese. Do that. So about that next time you're out and you're